Welcome to issue 273 of Critical Encounters, a podcast about Marvel Champions, a living card game by Fantasy Flight Games. Here, we take a good look at that most critical piece of the game, the encounter sets. We'll discuss those poorly understood fellas, unfairly labeled villains, and their various plans to shape humanity and benefit the planet, as well as those so-called heroes intent on thwarting them. I'm one of your hosts, Josh, and with me tonight is Steve.
Hi, Josh. I love how your voice changed for the radio. The radio voice went on the minute we hit record.
The second you hit record,
boom!
Someone went just deeper into the woods.
I love it. I love it.
Oh,
Hi,
Lord.
Josh.
I do not know to which you all refer. I can't help it. It just does that. And we have the effervescent, the magnanimous, the ubiquitous, a bunch of other big adjectives that I probably aren't using right. Daniel.
Ubiquitous is the only one that I quibble with. But thanks. Welcome back to the lair, Josh.
The unilateral.
It
the
is.
Photosynthesis.
Oh, yes. Great to have you back, man.
It's great to be back, boys. Thank you. This seat's a little, it feels a little worn in. I don't know.
Things have happened on that chair you don't want to know, Josh.
Is that what that is?
Oh, it's your chair for a while now, Josh, right? This is the start of a month-long or so Joshapalooza going to take place here.
A trial run.
Many people have attended Joshapalooza. We've received mixed reviews over the years.
Maybe a story for another day on this cast.
Yeah.
Golly.
Save that for Critical Encounters After Dark.
There you go.
There we go. Josh, we haven't seen each other since Con of Heroes. I know Daniel doesn't want to talk about it, but you did miss our recap show. So how are you doing? How's it going since the con?
I'm doing great, man. I miss it. I miss the con. It was phenomenal.
And that was your first, right, Josh?
Yeah.
Your first con of that type? Okay.
Yeah, it was my first Con of Heroes. We went down, we met, me and Nathan, who anybody that's familiar with the Hills Have Nerds is familiar with Nathan. He's our buddy that runs our local game store, and we've had him on a few episodes. He's a massive Marvel Champions fan. He's actually on our Marvel Champions episode. And then
he's been here. We've had him in the lair.
Have you?
We had Aaron in the lair.
I thought we had Nathan at one point, didn't we?
We interacted with Nathan on their show.
No. Yeah, that was the episode you and Lexicon were on of the lost episode of the Hills Have Nerds that literally got lost in the flood.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we recorded an episode. For anybody that didn't know, we recorded an episode with Lexicon and Daniel about the split when they announced that, and it got lost in the flood and never came to air. Nathan was on that one.
It's there in my memory.
Yeah, but we went down. So it was me, Nathan, our buddy Steven, who is part of our crew down here. Yeah, different
good guy.
And then Nelson from Nelson All Over Cards. We met him in Cincinnati, and we all four rode up together, stayed in a hotel in Wisconsin, and then drove on up to Montana the next day. It was amazing, man. Like everybody was so welcoming. It was just really, really cool.
Now, just to clarify, Josh, I want you to know that you were in Minnesota, not Montana.
Yeah, whatever. One of them big.
I get that the North is kind of all the same to y'all, but yeah.
Yeah, I had a good time. Josh and we played a lot of games. We had some good times.
I got to play quite a few with Mike, too. It was cool. Mike and I got to get breakfast together. That was nice. We went to a little Korean pastry shop and got some breakfast. That was nice. Got to have lunch with you a few times. Really sweet. Got to watch you get sick from octopus balls.
Yep.
Who could have ever thought?
Who would have thought?
Any food would ever betray a man? It was Minnesotan food truck octopus balls. Who could have ever thought? No one saw that coming.
Live dangerously, take chances, don't eat octopus balls out of a food truck.
You would have been better off digging out of the damn garbage than taking a chance.
I mean, that's one of three animals I won't eat anyway.
They didn't look like octopus balls. I didn't even know octopuses had balls.
They did apparently.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, yeah.
I mean, you can turn anything into a ball.
Yeah, that's true.
You can sphericalize most things.
Yeah. Well, I'm so delighted, Josh, you got a chance to do a con, see what it's like. there's no quinceañeras getting in my way next year.
Next year.
So hopefully you can come again.
There'll be enough critical encounters, villains, and elite minions. We can just take up an entire row and we'll just set up shop.
Want it so bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna bring a black light and like some, 80s synth pop music, and we'll just like take over that space too.
That was great. I got to meet all kinds of people. Got recognized, which kind of blew my mind. Mike and I were in line getting in. I think it was Spee. Spee was behind us, and we were talking, and it felt like a tap on the shoulder. And he said, "Hey, man, are you Josh?" And I went, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, I know your voice, the Hills Have Nerds and Critical." I was like, "Yeah." No, more people recognized me from your all's show than from mine. Which who would ever saw that coming?
Well, I mean, you're at a Marvel convention, and we just talked Marvel, so yeah, that makes sense.
Right, but it was wild.
It was really also cool. Happened to me where they said, "I recognize your voice. You're Steve from Critical Encounters." So Daniel, it did happen, but we were like with our people.
I was gonna say it's not the way I want it to go for me.
You just want to be like in the mall.
It did happen last year con to me as well. I had people come up and say, I know your voice.
Daniel, I heard you went to the Dragon's Lair in Stanton.
Yeah.
I was listening to the episode. I've been down there.
Yeah, it was great. And to see those guys and to I gave them ample opportunity to hear me.
It's a cool spot, man. That's my son's
tiny little store. Is great. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go down the basement?
Josh, I didn't know there was a basement. Now I got to go back.
There's a massive wargaming basement down there.
Oh my goodness. No, I didn't even.
Yeah. It's huge.
Okay.
That's really cool. But yeah, Con of Heroes was awesome. It was great to get to see everybody hang out. All the custom scenarios were great. I got to play in the multiversal Loki one. Mike and I got to play in that. Got to watch Steve get killed. That was really good.
Yeah. I took one for the villains.
Were you lucky enough to take on Dung Beetle?
I did. I wanted to, and I never got to. I didn't get to take on Dung Beetle. I got to play the Star Wars set with Steve and Man is Obsolete. Was that who it was? Steve,
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yep. That was good. Got to met Lexicon, got to meet Scott, met Lack of Subtlety. His name escapes me, and I'm so sorry if you listen to this. And get to meet a bunch of there was so many people.
Yeah.
A bunch of the guys from the DMV were down there. Saw Brian, saw Jonah, all those guys up
Good
there.
Good folks in my neighborhood.
Yeah. I got to get back up and hang out with you guys again.
Please do.
Well, all right. That's enough of making Daniel sad. Maybe we should make him angry.
That was Josh's 1 minute recap that lasted an hour, I think. Okay.
Yeah, I hear that you might be angry, so I want to know if that's true and what's on your mind tonight.
I'll tell you what. A rant and a not rant. Let me start with a rant because everyone asks for bad news first, right?
Yeah.
Enjoy a good rant.
Guys, I try to play solo in this game, and I get 10 minutes or 15, 20 minutes in, and I just hate it. I can't do it. And I get excited about various, today, so this is a double rant. So today, which will be 3 weeks ago, I ranted on Discord about how I want to like Silk, but every time I look at a Silk deck on Marvel CDB, they're all the same. No matter what aspect, there's 25 cards that are all the same. She's one of those heroes that is sort of comes with her thing and then 10 pre-built cards that you have to play. It's all the web warrior, web of life and destiny nonsense, no matter what. And so I was I don't want that. I don't want that for a hero in this game. I want to see if there are other ways to do it. Of course, because our community is so wonderful and lovely, Man is Obsolete and Lexicon are well, try these decks that we built. And I did. I downloaded Scott's and I played it on Octagon for literally 10 minutes. And I was just I just don't like doing this game alone. So I can't wait to play these decks on our Tuesday night plays when we get a chance, Steve, because I don't know how people like it. I really don't. And I'll play other solo games. I've played Final Girl. I've done and it's been fine. In general, solo's not my favorite form, but I would just love for one of you guys to tell me how someone can love solo. I just don't. This is a group game. It's heroes team up, man. They team up. It's the X-Men, not the X-Man. It's a Fantastic Four, not the Fantastic One.
I hear you. This game is better 2 and 3 players, I think, just because you're playing with friends.
That's just better, Steve. I actually think it's virtually unplayable for me solo. Like, honestly, like I just don't want it.
I like solo. It's quick. I don't have to like point out what I'm doing to other people. Sometimes I can just get a game in. I think I like kind of the mechanics of it, especially if it's like a new deck and I want to play that deck a few times to see if my idea worked. Can it hold its own? Can it do its thing? But I don't want to play it solo exclusively. I mean, right? I went to the con because I wanted to play a million 4-player games, that's what I did. But I don't
played
mind solo.
exclusively solo at the con.
Oh yes, he sat off to the
Just sat by
side
myself.
and like, yep, one of those
Oh
tables.
my
from
god,
grammar
I would
school
just
that-
love if
yeah.
that were like someone did that. That would be the greatest thing ever.
I like playing solo. I play my more difficult games solo. Like I'm not a big fan of playing like standard 2, expert 2, or any of that multiplayer. And just because I have a very bad problem with taking people's turns for them.
Mhm.
And
you're a
when we're
quarterbacker?
I am. I am. I try not to be, but I try to always phrase it as, you could do that. You can do what you just did. Or what about you do this? And the subtext is you do this. That's the correct thing to do.
So
you
you're the
could do that
condescending
wrong.
quarterback. Okay.
What?
Great.
I try not to be condescending about it. I try to be cordial. I try to present it as a suggestion. I'm like, or if you don't want, I said, do whatever's fun. Do whatever you
But
find
hidden in
fun.
that southern cordiality is, of course, condescension.
Yeah, 110%. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's why I like to play I've done all the campaigns besides Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on expert, but I do them solo. I have a specific deck I like to play, and I play through that. I have a Captain America deck that I take through everything on expert, all the scenario packs, all the campaigns, but I like to do that solo. And then, I have some downtime at work every now and then, and I can get some games in just so I can play it by myself. And then, like Steve said, if I'm trying out a new deck, I think solo is really nice for that. Now, if it's a multiplayer focused deck, you're not getting the entirety of the experience, right? But I do agree that the game is best at more players, because then you can really focus into your aspect. You get that large scale thematic event.
That's for me what it is.
Yeah.
It's just the hanging out. I don't know. It's just sort of, I don't need to be in my own head even more than I already am.
Well, no one wants to go there.
In
It's
my life,
dark,
right? Can you
scary.
imagine? Can you imagine, Steve? Yeah.
To Josh's one point, I'm able to sometimes sneak in a game at lunch. So a solo game at lunch is kind of fun. And sometimes I'll post a picture of the results on our Discord or something like that, because it's like, that's how I'm interacting still with somebody, by like, hey, look, I did this thing. Like, so even though it's a solo game, I still need that constant reassurance from people that I'm doing something right.
Maybe I don't have that sad need.
Yeah.
No, I just get like
pressure.
4 or 5 turns into Octagon, and I'm like, I just don't care.
Yeah. Well, that's a nice thing in this game. There's something for a solo player, and there's something for like 150 people at the same time. So
that's. Oh wait, that reminds me of something, Steve. Now that you say that.
Yeah. What's that remind you of?
Well, 150 people at the same time. That's like an epic multiplayer something, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. You try to follow me down this little rabbit hole, fellas. So one of the things that I love most about our particular community, our Critical Encounters community, is the generosity of the people in it. Now, Steve, I'm about to announce a contest.
Ooh, all right.
And I can announce this contest because of the generosity of one of our great friends, Will, who everyone knows best as Funky Monkey Monk. And I bet he was at Con of Heroes, wasn't he?
He was. I played some games with
him. And anyone who met him got to know what a great flippin' guy he is and how kind and sweet and generous he is. Well, he has given us something to give away on the show.
7 things to give away. He has given us.
He has given. He's ready for someone to win the Shuri / Black Panther pack.
Okay. Yeah. There's something special about this pack, though, Daniel.
Oh, well, gee, do you want me to spoil how special it is, Steve, or do you want to pat yourself
No,
on the back.
you can shower me with praise.
Okay.
It's okay.
Let me do that in a minute. Okay.
Okay.
So, but back to this whole multiplayer thing. So recently, FFG announced that they were going to do a Enchantress / Loki themed epic multiplayer, one of those 78 card packs, right? Like Goblin.
Yeah, scenario pack.
Scenario pack. Thank you. So now, naturally, the Nerdiverse had all sorts of feelings about that, for good or ill. It was fun to read about it, and but we want to throw this out there. Okay, so maybe you've complained about this idea, or maybe you're not sure about it. What would you do if someone assigned you the task of making a epic multiplayer scenario for Marvel Champions, the card game? Okay, so you're gonna send it in. Steve's gonna make a form. You're just gonna fill it out. Who's your villain? What's your scenario? What's the gimmick? What's the hook? How does it work for 22 tables in a big room? What is it? What is your epic scenario? Now, Steve, going back to what you said about showering you with praise, this isn't just any Shuri Black Panther pack. This one is signed, Steve.
Oh, by what villain is villain?
I know, right? You might think it's the designer of the Shuri pack. No, this one is signed by our own Vardane. Steve will sign this pack and send it your way. And I guarantee whoever wins this contest will be the only one with a Steve signed Shuri Black Panther.
Now, the
pack.
reason this pack is signed, wait. Now, the reason I'm going to sign this pack for you is because this is the same pack of cards that I played with at Con of Heroes. Will gave me this pack. Said, I want you to play this game with these cards. So we played a game. I touched these cards with my very own claws. And then we're going to give it away. So
that's right. You're going to win a used thing.
The same hands that ripped the balls from that octopus.
I've shuffled these cards, and you could win it. So
is this open to elite minions?
Yeah, if you want it, if you want this pack.
It sure is.
Oh, be still, my beating heart.
And this is one of those things. So you may own the pack already, of course. Steve will have the button that says, I just want my ideas out there. I don't need to. But this might be something you want to win, even if you got Shuri. Yeah. Because then you give you Shuri you already own to some other chump, and you have the Steve pack.
Yes.
The one in the universe. Steve Vardane pack.
Yeah. You want to win this.
Steve, I'll tell you what. I guarantee this will have the most entrants of any of our content.
I doubt 100%. That, but
no, we're gonna have thousands of people.
Okay.
Half of them from Chile, and we're sending international probably.
Yeah. Yep. The pack's fine. But really a big thank you to Will.
Right, for sure.
Yep. And you can find more about Will and the good work he's doing for gamers all over the place if you go to their website, meepleprofessionals.com. It's great. He's trying to connect gamers with gamers and gamers with retailers and doing community events and doing all kinds of great stuff. So go check out their meeplesprofessionals.com. I'll link it in the show notes, and you can check them out and tell Will Critical Encounter sent you.
Anytime you're in what New Yorkers call the city, look them up.
Look them up. They got a great group down there.
They're a great group. Absolutely. I mean, Steve is great. My rant, these contests, whatever. We got Josh here.
Yeah, we should probably get to the topic for tonight.
What's he here for?
I'm good. I'm just hanging out. What am I here for?
Oh, well, we're doing some modular stuff. We're working our way through the Age of Apocalypse box, and Josh said, "You know what? I'm good at doing lore, and I want to do lore for the Dark Riders modular set." So
I said that.
I could have been hallucinating after eating the octopus balls, but I'm pretty sure
came to Steve in the form of a six-winged angel and told him, "Bestow upon me the lore for the Dark Riders." I was there. I remember that.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So yeah, let's talk Dark Riders. Tell us about the group. Tell us about the different, because this modular set has like a whole bunch of unique minions. So there's got to be some interesting lore going on here. And take it away, Josh. Take it away.
Oh, honey, you'd think there was, wouldn't you? And yet, here we go. So the Dark Riders, I focused the lore or the information around the Dark Riders that we have in the game, in Marvel Champions. There's been several different iterations of the Dark Riders group over the years. The ones that we have in game were Apocalypse's kind of warriors that he banded together to kind of serve as his foot soldiers. And he called them the Dark Riders. They also went by the Riders of the Storm. And initially when they first came about, they popped up in X Factor number 65. That's the first appearance of the Dark Riders. And so these were, you'd think they were mutants, right? You'd think initially these were mutants, but no, most of them were Inhumans.
Oh, okay.
And these were members of the royal family of the Inhumans. And so these were, some of them were initially captured, some served willingly, so on and so forth. And this was, Synapse. We have Synapse in the game. This is the diminutive telepath Synapse, the firearms master Gauntlet, the energy firing Barrage, and the super strong Tusk, and then the computer-like hard drive. Now there was one other Rider of the Storm / Dark Rider, and that was Foxbat, and I don't think we have a card for Foxbat.
Not that I know of. No.
And it's in that group. It's weird that we didn't get a card for that one.
That's too bad, because what a great name.
Foxbat. Yeah. But yeah, so these were kind of Apocalypse's go-to guys. This was his kind of initial group that he rolled with. There's a group of Inhumans. They're all from the royal family. And all of them kind of had this similar underline in their story of they felt like they didn't get their fair shake, And so their main role there, they were sent to kidnap Nathan Summers. We all know Nathan Summers.
Yep. Cyclops' kid, right?
Yeah, that's Cable.
Yeah.
So this is back when Cable was a little baby. So this was kind of their first appearance. They were sent to capture Nathan Summers, and then they eventually got defeated, and they've kind of popped back up in and out. And they are currently all in various states of dead. Most of them killed by a certain magnetic mutant that we know and love. One killed by Moira McTaggart. So I don't know really how Moira killed somebody, but she did. We'll get into that. So the first one I want to talk about is Synapse. And this is
wait. I'm sorry, Josh. Can I stop you?
Yeah.
You said something about how they didn't get their fair shake. Now, in what sense? Were they wanting to be like horsemen?
So they were they felt like as members of the royal family, they weren't called upon enough is what I kind of gleaned from the what I was looking up about them, is that they weren't being utilized, or they weren't they weren't getting the notoriety they wanted.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They were being overlooked
Sure.
for things, either due to just ineptitude or just their general lack of societal etiquette. Most of these people are sociopaths or psychopaths, either one.
Okay.
You don't really join an evil villain team and not have some issues. Hence, we're here. We know what's wrong with us. And if anyone has ever listened to anything I've done, there's something going on there.
Yeah.
Diagnosed
so they were
otherwise.
Bitter about being on the JV team of villainy?
Yeah, pretty much.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good. Now, so the first one we talk about was Synapse, and there's been like several different characters named Synapse throughout Marvel. This Synapse is Psynapse. There's another Synapse that's like a Daredevil villain that was Synapse. So no P at the beginning, no silent P at the beginning. And this is different. This is a different
more of a
person.
synapse for that one, and more of a synapse for this one. Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
Why not, Steve? Why not?
I like. Yeah.
Sure is, buddy. Sure is. All right. So the Inhuman that would become Synapse. This was a cousin of Crystal and Medusa. Those are two Inhumans that we haven't seen in the game. I think we actually have a Crystal card. Do we? We may have a Injustice.
We don't have any. We don't have any Inhumans other than Miss Marvel and Lockjaw, right?
Oh, maybe. I thought we had a Crystal card. All right. But she was a cousin of Crystal and Medusa, and she's a distant member of the royal family in the Genetic Council. However, due to his lower position, he never became interested in the affairs of the Inhumans. And when Apocalypse attacked Attilan, and took control. Tillin was the Inhumans' like home city, right?
Yep.
Took control of a portion of the city. He became one of many who joined the Riders of the Storm.
Riders of
That
the
was
Storm.
the Dark
That's a
Riders.
song.
Doors.
Riders of
Yep.
the Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's already playing in the background for our podcast listeners.
Nice.
The whole time. I hope it's
The whole
there.
time. Well, we can't afford those royalties, but yeah, bits and pieces here and there.
So Synapse was a telepath who could tap into like the psionic energy of whatever planet he was on. Using this, he can create bursts of mental energy, astral project. He can draw others into an astral form. He can remove the memories of a person and leave them in like a childlike stupor.
Wow.
He can even create monsters from pure mental energy with tremendous power, it says in the thing that I definitely didn't copy and paste into the show notes. His powers apparently, so one of the drawbacks to Synapse is his powers could also awaken latent psychic ability. And so there were a couple times when Jean Grey was robbed of her psychic ability that Synapse ended up kind of repowering her accidentally, you know. And that didn't turn out well for Synapse.
It sounds like he's pretty potent there.
Yeah, like that seems like that's a pretty solid slew of abilities for somebody to have.
Can I get a 1/6 of a minute reminder of what's the difference between Inhuman and like X-Men? Because these abilities you're talking about with Synapse, they sound pretty mutant-y, X-Men-y.
So there's the Terrigen Mist.
Right. Okay. That turns people into mutants, right?
Kind of.
Or no, the
activates-
Terrigen Mist turn people into Inhumans.
Yeah, it turns them into Inhumans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Terrigen Mist turns them into humans. Mutants are born with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe they're born with it. Maybe it's Terrigen.
But they're equally mind-bending power like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Inhumans were a specific race of humans whose powers were activated by exposure to the Terrigen Mist, a substance derived from the Terrigen crystals.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and I think if you go far enough back in mutant lore, like some celestial creature does something to create Inhumans and also the mutant gene. So like if you go far enough back, there's some,
Right.
they're both planted where they live based on their.
But in terms of power, there's no really distinction between them. Like they've got
kind of.
Yeah, they're very similar in abilities.
they're similar in what they can
They're
do.
all
to the
different, right? But yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yep. So Synapse is currently in current Marvel is dead. He was killed in the explosion of Genosha, which happened years back. So as far as I can tell, he's dead. Not
Okay.
like Marvel dead. He dead.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. He's not only merely dead, he's truly most sincerely dead, you know.
Oh, nice. Well, all right. Shall we take a look at this card then for Synapse?
Heck yeah.
Josh, you're on a roll.
I am. Thank you. Synapse, a unique minion. 2 scheme, 1 attack, 3 health. With a boost effect. Synapse is Dark Riders traded with the ability Teamwork, Dark Riders. Synapse has a forced response. After Synapse attacks you, you are confused. With a boost effect of you are confused. I was really hoping this would say while Synapse attacks you, you are confused.
We're not going there.
So the new teamwork means Synapse would or would not attack. I forget.
If there is another Dark Rider minion
All right.
out on
So
the table
basically-
when Synapse comes out.
So teamwork means quick strike to the guy who shows up if there's another one.
Right.
Kinda. It's quick
Essentially.
strike, but for both attack and scheme.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, because otherwise this guy's not surviving long enough to attack you to confuse
No.
you.
Right. 3 health, that's nothing.
I mean, some heroes just look at him and he dies.
Do we feel like the card, like I love the art on the card, but do we feel like the card captures all of those abilities were described of Synapse?
He is the generic psychic power guy, so he has to confuse you. And
Yeah.
since he's technically the B team, this is what you get.
B team means 3 hit points.
Yeah.
Now, interesting. He looks like the actor Walter Goggins.
He does, doesn't he? He does look like Baby
A
Billy.
little bit there, yeah.
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 We were watching White Lotus season 3, and it's like just hit me. It's like, oh my god, it's him.
I love Walton Goggins.
Me
It's
too.
Walton Goggins.
Walton? Oh, sorry.
Walton Goggins.
Yeah. I remember him from Justified. I was like, this is the greatest actor I've never known.
Yeah. Fallout. He's great in Fallout. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about Tusk. Is that cool?
Yeah, let's do it. Who's Tusk?
Boss. Tusk. So all of these guys first debuted in X Factor 65. So
Right.
Tusk, other than being another kind of lesser member of the royal family, there's really not a lot about him as far as where Tusk came from. Apparently, once he got Terrigened and his abilities kind of awakened, his true form's like this worm creature. And what we have on our card, this big kind of beastie, almost Thing meets Clayface looking guy, is what that worm-like creature kind of builds around itself. It's almost like a biological mech suit type deal. He was one of the original Riders of the Storm, Dark Riders. He served Apocalypse when he was trying to get his ship back from X Factor and when he was trying to capture Nathan Summers, and then fought some of his inhuman brethren on the moon. So he can kind of like produce shards of himself, which he calls like Tuskettes or his underlings.
So like his backup dancers?
Kinda. I assume if he put on any type of musical number or was so inclined, he would have them do some type of.
They are the
backing.
Tuskettes.
Yeah, the Tuskettes. Right. But yeah, so that's kind of what he does. And he can either like reabsorb them or just send them out and they get destroyed, and then he rebuilds that shell around himself. He's kind of like the bruiser of the group, right? And that's really all there is to Tusk. He's another one of the royal family.
What's his current status then?
Yeah, where is he now?
He's dead. Oh, he's dead.
Oh,
he's dead.
Oh, he's dead. Very dead. He was killed by Magneto on Genosha.
Okay.
Magneto killed him, and we will see that as a recurring theme. Many of these Dark Riders.
Well, fellas, let me tell you about his card.
So happy you're doing his card.
It seems, he's kind of the opposite of Synapse. Tusk is the easy minion with 0 scheme, 2 attack. He's got the Dark Riders trait with 6 health, teamwork, Dark Riders. When he attacks you, force response. After he attacks, you're stunned. And his special boost effect is you're stunned.
Whoa.
Okay. So he's,
really breaking the mold here.
Yeah.
Really reinventing the minion.
Wow. There's so many Tusks in our game. Oh, God.
He's got 6 health, so he might stick around to stun you.
Yeah, he might. Yeah. Again, like the best of these types of minions, you want him as a boost if you're the villain.
Yeah, because at least his thing triggers.
He's good at stun. Yeah. I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he goes fine with your backstory. I get it. You called him like a big Goonie type guy. So
yeah, big Goonie.
But I would have loved if his card had something to do with the Tuskettes.
Yeah, even just a quote.
Something. Jeez.
Yeah. No quote. What would his quote be? Kick, turn, heel, step, kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Get back over here, you little rascal. Like something like that, right? Yeah.
Gosh. Or if he
I wanted
to come out and take 3 of the top cards of your deck as his Tuskettes.
Oh,
that'd
like
be
drones.
Yeah.
I don't think that these guys were in enough issues to have quotes.
Okay.
Well,
I don't know if some of them even got to speak before Magneto or the explosion of a planet.
Well, there are quotes on a few of these cards, so we'll have to see.
Well, we'll see. Yeah.
Okay, so that's Tusk. Let's move on.
Okay.
Who's next?
All right. Next up, we got Hard Drive. So Hard Drive was another inhuman of Attilan, however you pronounce that. And he was recruited into part of the original Dark Riders. So he was kind of like the field leader. Like he was kind of like the main Dark Rider. He was kind of the one who decided whether a mutant, when they were kind of rounding things up for Apocalypse, whether they fit according to the Dark Rider's ideology of who was a fit for Apocalypse's army. He ended up getting killed in a confrontation with Madeline Pryor, but He Marvel Death that one, so he came back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He also
close.
has he's like cyberkinetic. So he can physically and mentally fuse his body with mechanical systems. He has like this secondary cybernetic intelligence that kind of gets referred to as mainframe. So sometimes he's referred to as hard drive, and then sometimes he's referred to as mainframe. You'll see that kind of in the issues he's in. And he can utilize holographic projectors. He has like a teleportation field. He's got electro blasters, laser arrays, a cryotherm generator, and electronic surveillance ability. He's got all kinds of stuff. None of it was enough to keep Magneto from killing him for good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he too was killed by Magneto, which, I mean, being made of metal and having cyberkinetic stuff's probably not the best defense against the Master of Magnetism.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he made a backup of his consciousness. So,
he's got to be somewhere.
Not as of yet.
Okay, we'll find him.
It's out there. let me tell you about his card. Hard drive, a unique minion, 2 scheme, 1 attack, 4 health, a Dark Riders trait, teamwork Dark Riders, forced response. After hard drive attacks you, place 1 threat on each scheme.
Oh, I like that. 1
boost icon and the quote, I finished my scans, ready to jump. Or I finished my scans, ready to jump.
That was
Nice.
good.
He's got a very
Sam.
Remember the game Netrunner, that card game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A very Netrunner vibe.
He kind of got that like Victor Mancha. I feel like, the protection ally.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the art's interesting with the face in the front and all the tech coming out the back.
See, but that's what I'm talking about. Look at all that metal. Like, what are you going to do against Magneto?
Yeah, it's toast against Magneto.
Yeah.
You become a projectile, is what you are a weapon. He
crushes you down into the hard drive size.
Yeah.
Turns you into a floppy disk.
That's what I was going to say.
For those of us old enough to know what that means.
He turned it from a hard drive to a 3-inch floppy.
Okay, I mean, I like his response. That's great.
Yeah,
that's solid.
It's kind of
4 health.
Like a virus, putting a little bit of threat out on everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. It's cool.
All right, we ready to move on to the next?
Yeah, there are more. There are more of these guys. I'm waiting for
like
the really big story next.
Okay, so we got Barrage. We have Barrage before we get into the fun one.
All right, so Barrage, that sounds like a guy who's going to have like a 10-minute backstory.
He does not.
Oh.
He actually has the littlest info about him. It's Barrage. He's got a cool death. He's got kind of a cool death. So he has wrist pulse generators. They radiate bioenergy in the form of photovoltaic and concussive force blasts, which is neat.
What? I'm sure he does.
Yeah, got a lot of multi-syllable words there. That sounds really
cool. String of words.
Yeah, looks good on a resume for the Dark Rider. Yeah. But there wasn't a lot of other info about him that I could find. It was just he was kind of the guy that sat in the back and shot things out of his wrists. That was cool.
Okay.
Then he got killed in a battle with Shin Zorn. And I don't think we have anything with Shin Zorn in the game yet. Shin Zorn is the brother of, I can't remember the first name, but it's something else Zorn. And so Shin Zorn is a mutant, and he has this black hole in his head. He wears a mask, like this helmet, and the black hole leads to Mojo World.
Oh, okay.
And so he can remove that and draw people into that. And then there's another mutant, his brother can create a star, has like a quasar star in his head. So it's kind of the opposite there, that the two have another mutant. I can't remember.
I think somebody talked about Shin Zorn once, maybe back when
we
were doing Mojo.
When we were doing Mojo, that black hole came up.
Yeah, that came up. Okay.
Yeah. So he
I don't know if Shin Zorn did, but a black hole did.
Black hole guy. Yeah.
Black hole in his head. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
all right.
So yeah, Barrage got killed by Shin Zorn.
Well, tell us about his card.
All right. Barrage's card. I like Barrage's art. I like the purple hair and the blue.
Yeah, he looks good.
He looks good. Yeah, he looks solid. Barrage, he's a unique minion. He has 1 scheme and 2 attack. He has 4 health. He is Dark Riders traded with teamwork. You guessed it, Dark Riders. He has a forced response. After Barrage attacks you, you deal 1 damage to each character you control. He has a single boost icon, and he has a quote. Don't expect someone named Barrage to be picky with their targets, says Cyclops.
I like that.
So the quote's not even his.
No. Well, I don't think he was around enough to say anything. He came out, shot some wrist blasters, got sucked into Mojo World and died.
Okay.
Got sucked off and died. Yeah. But he's a minion ruiner.
Yeah. Ally killer.
Yeah. An ally killer, rather. Yeah.
Wow.
If he comes out with teamwork and you got a lot of chump blocking allies, like that could really, like if you're saving some allies to chump block for people, keeping them with that low health, he comes out, got another Dark Rider on the table in an encounter phase, he hits the deck, he's wiping out the rest of your chump blocking allies.
Yeah.
The least backstory, but probably the biggest impact on the game.
Not yet.
Well,
Wait,
there's got to be someone else who there's got to be someone like who leads this group.
That was hard.
That was hard drive.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. Hard drive's the leader, but
fine, but like there's got to be someone better than that.
Yeah. Oh, we talked about what killed Barrage. But yeah, there is a better one, but just because he has some fun backstory to him, some fun lore about him, and that is Gauntlet. So Gauntlet is our final guy, our final Dark Rider that we have in game. Gauntlet has enhanced strength and stamina, augmented senses. He can generate personal psionic blocks. He has sighting mechanisms, a cluster rifle, a missile launcher, a flamethrower, everything. Dual exhaust, foxtails, leopard skin, seat covers, side mirrors, everything you want on a man. Gauntlet's got it. He's kind of the weapons expert there. So he's dead. So Gauntlet is canonically dead. Again, not a whole lot of background to Gauntlet. I think another Inhuman that didn't get a fair shake. That kind of was attracted to Apocalypse's promise of conquest and power in a new world. He is dead. He was killed by Magneto, probably because he was covered in a bunch of metal shit and got.
Okay, so I think they're all dead, right?
They're all been killed. All of them are canonically dead. Most by Magneto, one by Shinzorn, and one by the explosion of Genosha.
Okay.
But there was a point where Gauntlet fought Mesmero. Mesmero is a mutant that can kind of like take over people's psyche, like influence them subconsciously. Another kind of psionic mutant. And apparently Mesmero won the battle. Gauntlet ran away, thought he was done. Mesmero was not done with Gauntlet. And so he kept concentrating on Gauntlet and managed to extend his influence on the mind of, as Mesmero put it, this stupid man for months. Mesmero used his power to torment Gauntlet, to make him step in front of oncoming traffic, to make him buy shoes that he did not really need.
What?
And had him overeating until Gauntlet gained 50 pounds of additional weight.
Wow.
And Mesmero had a theory as to why Gauntlet called himself Gauntlet, that he was an obsessive fan of the film The Gauntlet from 1977 and named himself after.
Okay.
I like that this guy who can like exert this mental control over someone has him doing these ridiculous things like buying shoes and overeating, right? Because a lot of times it's like, I'm going to take control of you and make you kill the president, or like just throw yourself off a cliff or something. But no, like go buy shoes that you don't need.
Yeah. And then you look at the art on this card, and where was this guy going to buy shoes at?
I don't know. This guy looks like a badass.
Yeah, he looks like Monster Foot Locker, like crazy.
Yeah.
He's got an eye patch and some crazy teeth.
He's like an orc.
He's got like a pair of Reeboks. He's looking at them. He's like, I don't really need them, but I want them. Like the light up ones, or like some Heelys or something.
Give me some Air Jordans. Yeah.
And a high scheme. The guy's got a high scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about his card? Who's reads his card?
Oh, I think it's my turn. Yeah. So Gauntlet, unique minion with 2 scheme, 2 attack. Dark Riders traded, 5 health. Teamwork, Dark Riders. After he attacks you, you discard an upgrade you control. And he has 2 boost icons. Okay. Well, why did he discard it? Well, all right. I guess just because.
Okay.
Okay. So
it
that's
really
why
should be.
This was what made me think he was the leader of the group, because he did like a bad thing.
His force response really should be, if your character is wearing boots, Gauntlet takes them.
Yeah.
Discard an upgrade you control 2 if one of them are boots.
Yeah, it is upgrades, so he is like stealing your stuff. He's not blowing up a building, a support, or anything like that. He's not knocking down your helicarrier. He's just stealing
But if
stuff that
he's
you
buying your boots, should give you like you should draw a card.
maybe he's a really good haggler, so he's getting a deal.
I see.
And you're getting ripped
Yeah.
off. So
The poor guy was made to walk into oncoming traffic. Like, I imagine just walking out of like a shoe show or
Right.
something.
Well, like
Again.
I mean, all these are weird backstories, but like his seems like he would be the nerdiest nerd loser of this group. He's got the best card.
Yeah, it's just weird.
I don't get it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
Mesmer
like-
apparently made Gauntlet think he killed him and then ended up just tormenting him forever and made fun of his name.
This art makes him seem like he might be impervious to that type of treatment.
Yeah, looks
but
like
no.
an orc.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay. Well, there's
It's
one
gotta be
more
something that
card.
holds all this together.
Yeah, and before we read that card, you can get this modular set in the Age of Apocalypse box. It is suggested in Apocalypse 1, the third scenario in the box. Obviously 6 total cards, 6 by title, but it's not required in any scenario. So while it is suggested, it is not required.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I see why that might be true.
So this 6th and final card is the side scheme, the Dark Riders. Dark Riders live by the axiom, the weak must perish. So it's 2 threat with a hinder 1 per player. Each Dark Rider's minion gains toughness.
Oh.
When revealed, discard cards from the encounter deck until a Dark Rider's minion is discarded and reveal it with 3 boost icons.
All right. So that's going to help teamwork go off. All right.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
It's going to bring out a Dark Rider when it comes out and give them toughness. They'll all get toughness, which is pretty cool.
Gives them some staying power for those things to activate.
Yeah. We have one character there that we
That's what I was
know,
gonna ask.
Barrage. Is that Foxbat next to him?
I don't know. Let me look real quick. Let me
It's
pull
Foxbat
up my,
now. It's officially
my
Foxbat.
minion glossary here, and I will
Look at
tell
those
you if
goggles
that
this
is
guy's got on.
Foxbat. That,
So-
Those look like bat fox. Eyes.
Yeah, Foxbat goggles. Yeah, with
Yeah.
the mohawk and everything. Yeah.
that is most certainly not Foxbat.
Dang it.
Oh.
I don't know who that is. That is
Okay.
Goggle Mohawk Man.
Okay. Maybe Foxbat is in the top left corner. There's somebody way in the corner
No,
there.
I see
You'd
something
know
way
if
in
you
the
saw Foxbat.
I am. Okay.
Foxbat is like gold and red with spikes all over him. That if you so think of say the word Foxbat out loud
Foxbat.
and imagine in your head what that brings to mind, what that conjures up, and know that what you just thought of is nothing like what this person looks like.
Okay.
Okay.
Um.
All right, let's talk about the set.
Well.
What do we think? Where do we want to use it? What do we like about it? What don't we like?
In general, it's got sort of a generic design that we've seen before, I think, right? With the forced responses that do all the things, basically, right? So this is a group of cards that's trying to hit you on every level. Ping
It's
your
no
damage. Right?
Yeah.
It's like I feel like we've seen it before. I like the side scheme that keeps these team workers around a bit, but again, there's just nothing really compelling about it. I would put it into any time that I want to beat up minions.
Yeah.
Like, I do like minion heavy mod
It's
sets,
got
so
the boost icons are terrible.
yeah.
Two of them that do something, and some 1s and a 2, and I mean there's a 3, but Daniel, you're right. There's like one guy stuns, one guy confuses, one guy messes with your upgrades, one guy does damage to everything, one guy puts out threat. Yeah.
We've seen it.
Now, old teamwork, these guys would be pretty darn good, I think.
Well,
Oh yeah.
but everyone is, right? So are they
Yeah.
better than
Yeah, you're
anyone
right.
else in old teamwork? Probably
Right.
not. Like of all the team workers, these seem to be the weakest team, which makes sense lore wise, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely not they're not an A squad.
I love that they come out in an apocalypse like as the B team of whatever he's doing, right?
Yeah, they're not an A. I don't even think like they're the best iteration of the Dark Riders either. Like them is the first set.
Well, some of them don't feel like they match the their abilities per se.
Yeah.
I don't know. You said hard drive has holographic projectors and teleportation fields and electro blasters, and he puts out one threat. Like, okay.
Yeah, you're right. You're like,
Right? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some of that's
one
hard to
thread
translate.
on each scheme.
Okay,
on
okay.
each scheme. Give credit
Which
where
could
credit's
be
due.
which could be one threat, right? Like there could be a main scheme and that's it.
Yeah.
I think multiplayer is probably a little more fun because I may have out Barrage and Daniel draws hard drive, so the teamwork goes off. Solo, I know for me, typically a solo game with teamwork, I really focus on the teamwork guys to get rid of them so they don't trigger.
Look, you're in a bad beat if you're playing solo and teamwork triggers, you've got an issue.
Kind of in trouble.
You know?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I just think they're like a middling teamwork set. You know, like teamwork obviously makes them worse because you can get these forced response or after they attack you. So it's not after it attacks you and deals damage or anything like that. It's going to trigger after it attacks you. None of them are after they scheme. So if you're an alter ego, they're
Right.
not going to trigger any of their abilities, which I think is bleh. Wish it was more like if they were after they activate against you, trigger
Yeah.
that.
At least for a couple of them, like hard drive and synapse.
Yeah.
Like those feel like they should when they scheme. Okay.
And they're low health. They're relatively low health. Besides Tusk, Tusk is a 6 and Gauntlet's a 5. So you're probably putting 2 into those. But Barrage, hard drive, synapse 3, 4, 4. Like that's pretty.
Yeah, 3's
Pretty
nothing
easy to get rid of. Yeah.
Yeah. Even if they can get the tough, but that means you gotta have the side scheme out. I don't know.
I think there's a lot that has to happen to make these guys formidable.
Yeah, you're right. They're like a middling kind of. You want some minions, but you don't want to go overboard. You're not looking for Sinister Six, or you don't want all the Marauders or something like that. You can slide these guys in there.
If I wanted to fight Reavers, but I didn't really want to fight the Reavers, I'd fight the Dark.
Right there you go.
The Reavers JV team.
The Timu version of the Reavers. Yeah.
Timu Reavers. Yeah.
Timu Reavers. Yeah. Okay.
Art's all good. Art's
I like the art
on every single one of them.
And it's comic art, right?
Mhm.
I mean, it's all comic art, so they're newer characters, right? They look like it, kind of. Well, I guess not. Right?
1991.
Oh wow, pretty old.
1991, so 35 years old.
Oh my goodness, shh, quiet,
34.
quiet. Cool. We'll have to see how they work when we get to the apocalypse scenario. How they slot into that. I bet you there's somewhere where these could go. So let's give them a grade. Let's give them a final grade. Daniel. Daniel.
Oh golly. B minus.
Okay, it's better than I thought. Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, they're not bad.
They're still minions. Yeah.
Teamwork saves them.
Yeah,
Right.
110%.
So maybe B minus, like somewhere between there. Like in a multiplayer game, things might happen more interestingly in solo.
Josh, your rating?
I'm kind of with Daniel on this. I think a B minus. I would, if they didn't, without teamwork, they're like D. Like this is,
Yep.
Hydro
Absolutely.
Patrol level stuff. But with teamwork and the chance for the side scheme to come out, and the side scheme's doing a lot of heavy lifting for them, and teamwork's doing a lot of heavy lifting. Just them by themselves are nothing crazy to write home about. But because they have that teamwork, that's kind of where the synergy comes from. So if you get a couple of these guys on the table in a multiplayer game and they start triggering and going off, they can do some work. The problem is their base, like their attacks, like their attack and their scheme still isn't that high. Like it's not like even them going off is that big a deal just straight output wise, like disregarding throughput. So
yeah, I mean they can't really be like. I mean maybe Tusk could be a 3, but you can't really have guys a pack like this running around with 3s. I think if they're supposed to be slightly weaker characters.
Yeah. And these are put in what, like third scenario of the game of the campaign, right? So
yep.
So yeah, I mean I think they serve their purpose. I think they're thematic. I think they're fairly thematic for the most part. So
yeah, they work for Apocalypse. Yep, it works.
They work for Apocalypse and they die. That's what they're gonna do.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm with Daniel. B minus.
Okay. Josh, thank you for coming on and
Thank you.
talking lore with us for Dark Riders and kind of heroes. And being here and starting your Elite Minion audition here.
Here
right?
we
You're gonna be
go.
with us
Here we
for a
go.
few shows in a row.
It was a trek to get here. We just celebrated 2 years of the Hills Have Nerds and did our big live stream. To celebrate
Congratulations.
that
2
earlier
years.
today. Yep, 2 years has flown by.
It's no joke.
Just
Yeah.
nerditry and putting up with the people. Well, you had Aaron on. You know what I put up with.
He's a swamp goblin.
He is a swamp goblin.
I think that's what you always call him.
Yeah.
So
He's a beautiful, wonderful man.
he was nice. We liked Josh. Yeah, we liked
loved him.
Aaron. Yeah, he was great.
He put on airs. He was putting on show for you. You
Yeah,
don't
he's
see
on
the
his best
real-
behavior, is what you're telling us.
Yeah, you didn't see
Okay,
the real
okay.
one that I see.
Well, we appreciated him coming
Yeah.
on. Yeah, congratulations on 2 years. I mean, that's it's tough. We know it. Some shows don't make it past 10 episodes. So
Excited for more of that, but more so, to hell with my podcast. I'm
Hmm.
excited to be here in the lair to really show what I can do. Get my chops in, and
Oh,
while
there you
Mike's
go.
gone off frivolously gallivanting through wherever, I'm here to sit in this chair, figure out what the hell that smell is, and show you people what I can do.
yeah, who was in that chair previously? Oh, Mako was the primary chair holder recently, so you can ask him.
Oh, he had
Yeah.
the assless chaps on it.
Yes,
he
he did. Yes, he did.
He did.
That's what that smell is.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, before we go spiraling too much more,
It's weird. I never tend to ramble.
do you have comments for us? Do you have questions? What we want is your listener questions, because if you send us a question, a what's on your mind question, and Josh is around, you'll get a good story too. You'll get Daniel and Josh and me. It'll be great. So send us some questions, folks. We need some. And you can send them to us. You can email us at criticalencounterspod@gmail.com. We're Critical Encounters on Facebook. You can find our YouTube, Twitch, or Patreon by searching for Critical Encounters Podcast. And on Discord, we are Vardane, Big Foam Loaf, and Wingster. Don't forget, check our socials for that contest that you want to enter. If you like our show, tell your friends. If you don't like our show, tell your enemies. Gauntlet, take us out.
You want someone gone, you hire the Dark Riders.
Then you buy some shoes.
Ooh, Heelys.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
So I met Caleb Grace at the con, and I went up to introduce myself and just say hi and thank him for all the hard work that he does. And I can't remember if he recognized my voice, but he from your show, from this show, or if he just commented on my voice. And I told him about the Hills Have Nerds, and he said, "So you're not from around here, right?" I said, "No, I'm from Kentucky." He goes, "Oh yeah, like Justified." I was like, "Yeah, Harlan." He goes, "Now where is that? Is that?" I said, "Harlan County is an actual like Harlan, Kentucky. Like that's very close to where I live. Like we're very close to where Justified quote unquote took place." He was like, "Oh yeah, really? That's awesome." He's like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "Do you ever get like pushback on your accent?" Or he said something like that. And for some reason, I was a little nervous speaking to him. And
Yeah.
and I told him, I said, sometimes I said I went up. I lived in Pennsylvania for a while, for a little bit, and up there I'd always get pushback. People be like, "Why don't you talk right?" I'd be like, "Well, I do talk right. F you. Why don't you talk right?" And we laughed about that. And then for some reason, I thought it would be a good idea to tell him about my sexual conquest in Pennsylvania.
What?
And I know, right? That's why I understand. I was nervous.
I thought where you were going to go was hitting him at his like incredibly deep Minnesota accent. Okay.
No, but
anyway.
I said, I said, you got an accent. So we talked about that a little bit.
Okay,
But I
good.
also
Because
said-
he's very Minnesotan and very obvious.
I just happened to bring up, I was like, but the ladies really liked it. I said, I did well. And I said that like 3 times. And I don't know why in the hell I said that 3 times. Why
That's
did
nerves,
I think
baby.
that was...
That's what
it
nerves
was
look like.
Yeah. So, Caleb, I don't know if Caleb listens to your show or not, but I apologize for saying that. That was... getting
Steve, I think we know
mean.
one person not going to a barbecue.
It was... I walked away.
You're not
Oh,
getting
I
the
walked
invite from
away.
Caleb now. But
Steve, I
it's
think
all
I was
right,
playing a game with you when I said, "Hey, I'm going to get up and go over there and say
So I
say
should have
hi
come
to
and
Taylor.
saved you. Yeah, sorry.
Right back. Oh, I mean, he laughed it off. It was. I don't know why. I thought that was something I needed to say
I
to
love
him
that
about
you're
that.
revealing this right now to us.
It was just funny.
To
It was just
our
funny.
listeners.
I don't know. You can't laugh at yourself. Who can you laugh at?
That's that's true.
I'm a moron. I'm an absolute
Oh,
idiot. That was
good golly, that's funny.
Well, no argument here.
and yet you keep having me back.